Did this ever happen to you? Time to install the web server. Let's see. So DNF search HTTPD. What? DNF not found? What the hell? So I know the package name. So DNF install HTTPD. What? Not found? Oh my god. Okay, I can enable SSH. I mean, systemctl. Systemctl. There is no systemctl. Yes. What the hell? Oh, if it has, I have the solution right here for you. Join me. So you want to search and install on, let's say HTTPD, for example, just an example, on your system, and you realize that your system does not have DNF. So DNF search HTTPD, for example. All right. Not present, or you want to enable or shut the service, systemctl, and things just not work. Why? Because you are using a older, quote unquote, older version of your RHEL or any other similar system, and you don't have DNF still. There is no systemctl, so the way things work are just different. Okay, so let me show you one thing I like. Let me show how it's done on older systems. Okay, so let's say we want to install HTTPD. So our goal here is to install HTTPD. Okay, so if you want to install HTTPD on a system that does not have DNF or systemctl or any of that stuff, it's older. I don't want to say versions, but anything that does not have that subsystem yet installed, it's an older version. You need to use yum. That's just that, yum. So you do yum search, for example, HTTPD. Okay, and there I have. So from there on, yum and DNF are very similar. I think if you know how to use DNF, you know how to use yum. So yum install HTTPD and say yes to everything. So in this case, it's already installed. Okay, perfect, even better. Or if it was not, it will just install as usual. Okay, not big of a deal. So let me just resize my window so it doesn't kind of overlap. Okay, cool. My camera, cool. Now, what to do next? So it's installed. So if you want to enable the service, which is make sure that the service starts in every reboot, you don't have the systemctl, right? Systemctl does not exist yet. What you do, in order to enable the service, you use the check config tool. So, but it's spelled funny. It's like the chk config, okay? So this is the tool we're going to use to enable the service, and by enabling it means making sure it starts at startup. I mean, the server will start with service reboot. So just to check config, you can type enter, just check config enter, and you'll see all of this stuff. I'm going to make it a more in-detail video about this, but these numbers are run levels, okay? And I will make a separate video about run levels. Like, subscribe, and comment to get notified. Click that ring-a-ling-ding-a-ling bell button. And in our case here, what's important here is make sure that HTTPD is enabled on level 3 and level 5. I'm not saying that the other levels don't matter. They do in certain situations, but for HTTPD, we are focused on run level 3 and we are focused on run level 5. So let's just grab for HTTPD. And you can see that it's off for 3 and 5. So you want to enable this for run level 3 and run level 5. So let's do this following. So let's just do HTTPD on. And by doing on, we are enabling, and let's check for what run levels. So it's enabled on 3, 4, and 5. So 4 is not that important for now, but you can see that 3 and 5 are there, which is fine. So which means that check config interacted with this service specifically, or whatever service you mentioned there, and this service script knows that it needs to enable on level 3 and on run level 5. It enabled on 2.2. That's fine. It doesn't make our life any worse. It's fine. We can check the check config man page to see, or just to the minus help, and we can see we can manually specify to which run levels you will enable. So just check config levels, and you specify the levels, and you're off to the races. Okay, but for now it's good enough. It's on 2, 3, 4, and 5, a little bit overboard, but fine. It doesn't really bother us too much. Now, is the service started? So once again, we don't have systemctl installed or even available. Systemctl, it's not there because this is still pre-systemctl system that is pre-systemctl. This is based on a tool called init, and it's the init that enables the services and do other stuff about services. So this is all run levels. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are run levels that are managed by init, and it's the init process that is going to interact with those run levels. And in this case, init knows that needs to start the service on level 3, 4, and 5, and 2, 2. But the major ones will be 3 and 5. But again, the script enabled on 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we are good to go, off to the races. Is the service started? So we don't have systemctl, but we do have the service script. So the service script is the one that interacts with services in a way like systemctl does, quite differently, but it can be comparable. It's a little bit comparable. Okay, now we do httpd start. Okay, and it started. It has thrown a couple of warnings, but it's fine. It just started. It's okay. So you can do this state. You can do minus help here or whatever. Status should also return something. Okay, and it's running. Okay, it's a little bit more bare bones than systemctl. Yeah, I give you that, but it just works. It simply works. It works great. Cool. It's okay. It started. So in order to test this, let me check the IP address, and let me open here a browser window. So this is since it's HTTPD, let's do just a full status. It's also a good option you can use to get more information about this service specifically. Each service will have its specific set of scripts, so check all the options you can get on the main pages. But HTTPD supports a full status, and it tells us that links it's required. So let's do the yum install links -y. So if you don't know links, it's a text mode browser. Okay, so just let it just do its thing, and we should be okay. Okay, so once links is started, let's just okay, now let's try to connect. And as you can see here, oops, let's see. I don't think I am going to be able to. Okay. So let's check the IP address, because this is a dynamic IP address. So I have not set it as fixed yet, or static. So it'll start connecting. And I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think what can be blocking, what can be causing this. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 5, 6, and it's a firewall. Okay, just to prove that to you, let me do service IP tables stop, and let's try to refresh, and immediately worked. So it's the IP tables, it's a firewall. And again, this is an older system, so there is no firewall D. This is IP tables. Okay, but don't panic. It's if you want just to add a simple firewall rule, you just do etc sysconfig IP tables, and we can just use one of these as our baseline here. No need to make deep changes. Okay, let's just copy that, and let's add the 80 port. This should be good enough to allow incoming connections to the port 80. Now we restart. We should be okay. Let me just reopen a new browser window, so we can have a fresh start. Let's then pull this down, make this slightly pretty, and let's then paste again, and it's working fine. Okay, so we just need to add a quick firewall rule to allow port 80 to go through. So this is usually that's the case. You already have this port there. You just add a new line with a new port, and you should be good to go. Let me show you the file. Okay. So the file is this one. Okay. You just don't forget after you make the change, just to restart the service, and you should be okay, and you are good and dandy. And there you have it. The service is working. Let's just do something stupid. So let's do vim etc var www.html index.html. Success. Great. I don't know, something dumb. Rotten quit. we should be able to refresh this and we should be able to see our usually awesome, great website. So there I have it. This is how to install, set up HTTP, and even a few bonus stuff I've shown you. For example, what like a glimpse on what run levels are, how to stop a service, how to restart the service, how to get a service status, and how to add a simple firewall rule on older systems. So this is a RHEL 6 system. It's a CentOS system. It's basically the same thing. So this is a CentOS system. This CentOS 6, RHEL 6. It should work anything from beyond that, 5, 4, and all good that stuff. Hope you find this useful. I'm sure there are plenty of you that are still using older versions of Linux. I hope this helps. I hope you find this useful. Like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.